this week, we are going to talk about a infamous person of the internet who has, over the past couple of weeks, maybe months, come and gone in the news for controversial reasons, sort of controversial.
Oh my God.
It's not controversial like they beat somebody to death or something like that. It's much lower stakes, but they're far-reaching. So this week, we're going to talk about the YouTuber MrBeast. So let's dive in.
Ooh, I wish MrBeast would give me $1 million. Is that something we can arrange?
I don't know anything about this person.
I think I just summed it up pretty nicely.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
I do want to say, before we get too deep into this, for anyone that finds this video because they are fans of MrBeast, just chill out. Just don't, his fans can be a little intense from what I can put together. And there is a huge yearning for MrBeast content.
Hang on, I'm already feeling the heat from the comments.
Harlan, can I ask you?
Sure.
Do you think MrBeast himself is intense?
Well, so he portrays himself that way as his MrBeast persona in his YouTube videos. I think in real life, because there are some there's content he's done with other creators, which we'll talk about, where he's a little bit more chill, but it's also kind of problematic, his attitude in those settings. So
sure, boy, let's get into it then.
I do not have any frame of reference.
So he's a YouTuber,
That's
a philanthropist, and entrepreneur, as with most YouTubers are when they get to how many subscribers? 83 million subscribers.
And how many subscribers do we have, Harlan?
204?
Right. Yeah, 204.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Cool.
Might lose a few on this one.
I think MrBeast could throw us a bone. I think he can give us a few.
I don't think there's a big crossover with the people that follow us and the people that follow MrBeast.
There might be. Watch. There's going to be people
Again,
in the...
no frame of reference.
So his real name is Jimmy Donaldson. He joined YouTube in February of 2012 when he was 13 years old. He's become one of the most influential YouTubers on the platform. However, like I mentioned in the intro, some of his actions as of late could be, and in his business ventures, present ethical dilemmas.
Okay. Like, you mean ethical dilemma, like you have a train going down train tracks and one's going to go left and kill one person.
Yeah.
One's going to go right and kill 8 people. What do you do? That kind of deal?
But it's that, but then it's also if we just stopped talking about the trolley problem after that and didn't consider the bigger implications of killing somebody versus killing a bunch of other people. So it's like a real life thought experiment.
Once again, another pleasure that MrBeast has afforded us. Thank you, MrBeast.
Yeah. I want to see that MrBeast. That's the only MrBeast video I'd watch. I did the trolley problem in real life. I paid $100 million for one person to tie them to train tracks.
Yeah. They decided to give me their life for this experiment.
Yeah. So the philanthropy that he does sort of is a question of whether doing the good deeds are truly good when they're also self-serving, whether they're a byproduct or not, which is one of his videos that recently came out that had a bunch of people talking about it on the internet. And as he has gained this reputation as a generous and philanthropic creator, some argue that it's probably not all that altruistic when his videos are making millions of dollars off of these philanthropic things.
I have a question. Who the fuck is this guy? Can you please give me a little bit more backstory on what is happening? I have never seen a video. This person has never crossed my mind at all.
He is a YouTuber that is your stereotypical YouTuber. Like, when we make fun and do the check out my YouTube video
What's
and
up,
like
YouTube?
that. Yeah, what's up, YouTube?
Yeah. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel.
He is that guy that is part of that era of creators that kind of started that type of content on YouTube. It's very much directed towards children, even though the content itself, like, there's cursing and there are some things that are a little bit like, I don't want to say risque, but like not necessarily for children alone. But it's the way that it is delivered, even down to like the thumbnails he uses. Like, they're all those over the top, super saturated video thumbnails, and every photo of him is going like mouth open, agape, like check this, like it's all the classic manipulative tactics that you use on YouTube to just get clicks, mainly from children.
Got it.
Yeah, do you know like PewDiePie? Like it's kind of the same kind of like thing if you know PewDiePie.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why people are watching his videos, but it sounds like you're gonna get into it. So
I took a screenshot of some of the most popular videos in their titles from his YouTube channel. The most popular one is titled $456,000 Squid Game in real life!
Jesus fucking
It
Christ.
has 391 million views. The biggest thing he's known for are these types of videos where this one's titled Last to Leave Circle Wins $500,000. So he gets groups of people, fans together, and they either have to stand in a circle for the longest, or one of them was they had to like keep their hand on a car and then they win the car. Whoever's left is...
So he's just fucking doing radio shtick from the fucking 70s and 80s. Like he's literally doing hands on a hard body on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. He has, so there are a lot of challenge videos basically, right? This other one, his third most viewed video is I spent 50 hours in solitary confinement, 253 million views. I spent 50 hours buried alive.
Boy, I bet that's riveting.
And like that video is 16 minutes long. I don't know how you get 16 minutes of content out of these. I could not bring myself to watch a full one of his videos because they are so obnoxious. Like it's that quick cutting. It's always something happening. It's to grab the attention again of children. I mean, we're in the era of short attention spans with TikTok, etc. Like this was the precursor to TikTok, essentially. This type of content.
I'm Jay Station was done on this show, right?
Yes. Yeah.
We've been doing this for years. I can barely remember anything.
His type of editing is very similar. The way he talks to the camera is very similar. If anything, Jay Station is probably ripping off MrBeast, but I don't know. Jay Station might be a little older, so who knows?
But hopefully that's a reference for, like, John, if you recall those videos we watched of I'm Jay Station.
As he's become this well-known figure online, he's obviously branched out and he has a bunch of other businesses that, again, present their own issues in that they aren't that transparent for somebody of his level of notoriety. He has merchandise line, he has a virtual restaurant chain, which is basically a ghost kitchen. Only recently has that been sort of researched and uncovered through another YouTuber who I got some information from for this episode.
Mr. Feast is what it's called, I hope.
No, it's Mr. Beast Burger.
Oh, Kyle.
He missed...
So good.
He missed the opportunity. Mr. Beast, if you want to pay me $1 million, you can have Mr. Feast. I'm just gonna say.
Kyle, unfortunately, he has another chocolate company called Feastables, so he's kind of got it.
Missing it though. He keeps missing
Mr.
it.
Feast?
Yeah, Mr. Feast is the easiest one.
Because what you will find about Jimmy Donaldson is that JD. No, I want to call him Jimmy Donaldson because it is such a not cool
that is a very
name.
nerdy name.
What you'll find about him is that over the years of getting famous and having all of these products that his fans worship and love no matter what, he himself probably has not received very much negative criticism, and he's somewhat narcissistic from what it feels like to me. So everything has to have the Mr. Beast name in it. Everything. He would not go by Mr. Feast for a brand thing. It would have to be Mr. Beast.
Okay. I guess I get it.
These things, like I said, they lack some transparency, and in that there's the question of, are they ethical business practices in themselves?
I'm gonna venture a guess and say no.
John, you'd be right. But it's not like he's underpaying staff or he's exploiting people. It's just like the weird part of how they're marketed and the fact that these restaurants are just ghost kitchens. Like there's no quality assurance. There's like, we talked about ghost kitchens, but it's the weird thing where it's not drawing too much attention, but the more you look into it, the more you're like, I don't know about this guy.
I mean, when you're ordering things on an app, it's so much easier to overlook things, and like, as opposed to sitting in a facility and like seeing a cockroach on the floor.
Right. Yes,
or, like,
exactly.
it's like the kinds of things where you're like, well, my food showed up cold and I think there was a hair in it, so this is cool. I'm gonna just get my money back. But like, there's not like any accountability really. You can't like hold a person or a brick and mortar facility accountable.
And it's much more of a passive experience than like an active one of going to a restaurant and seeing all of these things. Like I mentioned, all of his videos get hundreds of millions of views. It's estimated that popular YouTube creators can earn around $2 to $7 per 1,000 views on their videos through the ad placement. Based on that, one of MrBeast's highest viewed videos, which is almost 400 million views, he could earn anywhere from $200,000 to closer to $1 million in revenue for just one video. One of these ethical dilemmas that's presented in these videos is the promotion of the materialistic values and the idea that money can solve all your problems. Basically, that's what all this, I mean, the first couple of videos I mentioned, it's like $456,000, play this game, last chance to leave a circle, you win $500,000. Would you sit in snakes for $10,000? Like, it's all revolved around money and giving it away.
It also feels extremely exploitive. Like, you're basically like paying the poor to dance for you. Like,
oh, we will get to that because that is the biggest problem with his content.
Is that our old phrase? We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
It's just something that I've always felt just gross from like working in service industry for so long, is like when you get wild requests from people and you are required in one way or another to fulfill said request. It's just like, if I don't do this, then I'm not going to get a tip, or like if, you know, some form of my income depends on me performing a task that I don't want to do.
It's dehumanizing. It's straight up dehumanizing.
Yeah, at the very base.
So the focus on these massive cash prizes can send the message that success and happiness are directly tied to financial gain. Again, in the context of most of his audience probably being under 20, not the best message to be throwing at like Generation Alpha and Gen Z. Like, we're already such a fucking consumeristic society that this just adds fuel to the fire, right? I made a note here. It feels like Jackass, but make it capitalism, because a lot of it is extreme risks and engaging in dangerous activities. As long as there is a large payoff at the end. Like, we grew up with Jackass and like CKY and everything, but they were doing it on home video, like just for the fuck of it. And
yeah, there was no financial gain coming out of jumping off a fucking roof onto a trash can.
Which I definitely jumped off the school roof into a bush.
Me too. It was the Mormon church down the street.
Look, I spent some time in a shopping cart in my day.
I know how fast those suckers can go.
Look where I am now.
Perfectly normal person.
And poor. we didn't catch it.
Doing just fine.
Yeah, so a lot of them are like these crazy, some of them are like, I mean, the one video I just said, would you sit in snakes for $10,000? I wouldn't trust MrBeast, Jimmy Donaldson to not pick poisonous snakes. Like,
did you vet the snakes?
Yeah. There's no due diligence there.
Who is his snake wrangler on the set of this video?
Yeah. Is there background checks on the snakes?
Rigorous interview process to select the snakes. Can we get it up from 10K to like a little bit more? Like maybe 1K per snake? What are we doing here? What's going on?
1K per snake.
How many snakes are there?
I don't know. It just says a pile,
Harlan,
a pit.
I need to know how many snakes there were.
I don't know. I'll have to, we'll get back to you. On the video, I'll put a number how many snakes there were from that video. There is also concern that MrBeast's videos are contributing to the culture of extreme consumption, which I kind of mentioned already. Their viewers are encouraged to spend money on products and experiences they may not need or be able to afford. This is what you mentioned, John, coercive, manipulative, and unrealistic for his viewers a lot of the times.
It also feels like if you make this much money, you can also make people do stuff for money. Look at me. Look how happy I am. Dance, monkeys.
Make money from me.
On top of that, like I said, it can be exploitative to the participants. Individuals might endure physical or mental discomfort. They may not fully understand the risks, and the high stakes involved in these challenges may incentivize individuals to put their health and safety at risk for the chance to win a large sum of money. I found a thread because I was like, I wonder what other normal people are think about MrBeast, because I can't be the only one. And I went to Reddit where all the normal people are.
I was gonna say, where'd you go where the normal people are?
Hang on.
But I wanted to get a sample of what some other people are thinking, right? One person started a post that said, okay, well, whenever someone criticizes MrBeast, everyone seems to come to his defense and remind us about his food bank or team trees. I find it pretty unrelated because people can set bad examples while still giving to charities. Sure. Great point.
One thing does not negate the other.
My main gripe is that MrBeast and other popular YouTubers make prank content, which is like, it's a whole other episode probably to talk about that type of content. He has a couple videos that are titled Destroying My Friend's Car and Buying Him a New One, or Destroying My Brother's House with Slime and Buying Him a New One. They go on to talk about like the colorful thumbnails, referring to his open mouth as a gaping maw.
Okay.
I love that term.
But they also point out that like a lot of this content is fake. It's not real. And I don't think that the people that are watching this understand that a lot of the times, that this is not real. Somebody else said he honestly gives me major narc vibes, which if you see his face makes sense.
I did have to Google him, and I agree. I had to put a face to the name, and frankly, the two don't align.
Do you guys remember when Elon Musk was like, yep, I will replace someone as the CEO of Twitter or whatever as soon as I find someone who's suitable? Because he put a poll up on Twitter that was like, do you think I should step down? And it was like overwhelmingly yes. And he's like, great, I'll step down as soon as I find someone who's suitable. MrBeast tweeted like the next day is like, hey, Elon Musk, am I suitable to be the CEO of Twitter? I'm pretty sure he did. I'm pretty sure he took a swing at grabbing Twitter.
I mentioned Squid Game. It's the highest most watched video that he has on his channel. And basically, this is the first thing that I saw.
Sorry, this entire thing that you've read off, this entire list of things just feels like one long Squid Game experiment. Like it seems like
quite dystopian
things that people have to do in order to get cash to pay off student loan debt. Like, it's just bizarre.
Which, yeah, I mean, I didn't really think about it in that context, but it's like 2 layers of meta going on here, because he recreated, he basically did Squid Game, but he didn't murder anybody, thankfully.
Not yet. Watching you, MrBeast. We're coming
that
for you.
That we know of.
But he got a bunch of praise for the amount of money that he put into recreating the set and the challenges and the games. And it's like, but he stole the content. But he straight up, he called it Squid Game. Like, there is a difference between inspiration and like paying homage and straight up stealing content.
What do you think? Do you think that there is any like legality that you can go into with that sort of thing? Like, is there somewhat of an intellectual property battle that can ensue because of that? Or is it like subject to parody and interpretation in that way?
I think it's still parody.
Parody law is powerful.
That's crazy.
When this video came out, his Squid Game video came out, that was a major point that people were making, being like, what, like, is this an IP issue? Like, what is going on? How is he able to do this legally? And again, I think because it falls under parody, or what is the other one? Like, if you change enough of it,
points on like a visual design, you're free. But he could have called it like
anything else.
He could have called it like Beast Games.
He wouldn't have gotten the SEO because literally everyone on the internet was talking about Squid Games at that point, and he would have lost out on all that stuff.
You can put that in the description and be like, heavily inspired by Squid Game, and you'll still get the same traction. Maybe not as much, but still, this is his most played video by how much?
110, 115 million views.
He could have blurred the lines a little more with like a slightly different name, and it's probably still got the same viewership.
And the crazy thing is that it's not like he was some small YouTuber. Like, he didn't need to call it Squid Game. He did not need to.
That's what I'm saying.
Essentially,
he has a built-in thing.
He was already doing Squid Game.
Yeah.
But yeah, the crazy part is that again, it's that thing of creators in a position of power and influence making these things, not thinking about, in this case, the dilution of that IP. And from now on, a huge majority of people around the world are going to associate Squid Game with MrBeast and not with Wang Dong Yuck. It's fucked up. Again,
It's weird. It's really weird.
The other thing, though, too, the argument that could be made to extend an olive branch here is that Squid Game is basically a reinterpretation of Battle Royale, right? So, but it's changed enough to where it is its own original thing, I think. So,
You know what's not changed enough? Hunger Games.
yeah, exactly.
Hunger Games did not change enough of their ripoff of Battle Royale.
Guys, I'm feeling this weird thing with like Hunger and Mr. Feast. There's like we got a thing going on.
Kyle, did you eat dinner?
Kyle can't get off the Mr. Feast thing. Not acknowledging that original creator is what the bigger problem is, especially when you read about the process it took to get Squid Game made. He faced numerous challenges along the way, from securing funding to convincing actors to take on the risky roles, but he persevered and created a cultural phenomenon that resonated with a bunch of people, right? So it's not like, Jimmy Donaldson didn't have to come up with the idea. He just slapped the name on it, built a set, and put a casting call out for his fans to come, and that was it. And they came in droves. So, little effort.
I think there's a big difference between expecting a parody by watching Saturday Night Live or late night television at any point and going to YouTube to watch what you assume is original content. You could do your own version of any kind of game show on YouTube, and that's one thing, but if you're like staging it and using all of the branding as the exact same thing, it's just kind of like yucky.
Yeah.
This whole thing is yucky to me.
Yeah, the whole thing is yucky. Well, one of the last things I wanted to say, I have in my notes about the Squid Game thing is, it's especially icky, John, when you consider that creators, people of color, BIPOC people that are making this content, typically the ones that are getting the most fucked over too, because there are already so few opportunities for them, that then to rip it off from somebody that has fewer advantages than a white creator in the same space, like on Netflix. Like, it's just, dude, think for 2 seconds about who made this and what that lived experience is for that person.
Also, just like the entire loss of irony of what Squid Games represented.
Dude, that is like incredibly ironic.
It was an entire commentary on what is happening and like people in debt and the way that the government is handling it.
Yeah.
And the fact that you are using this as a springboard to exploit further people is nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
it's turtles all the way down.
it's turtles all the fucking way down.
He's watching it and he's like, this is a fucking brilliant idea.
That I had individually.
I gotta do this.
Yeah, he was just like, oh, man, what kind of animal gold mask am I gonna have though? What kind of beast mask am I gonna make?
I want to jump into his philanthropic ventures here, which he is widely known for, but this is another one of those things. He made a video of his philanthropy. Yeah. And I don't know if either of you guys saw it. This was the more recent criticism he had, where he paid for the surgeries of 1,000 blind people. It was cataract surgery.
I have no idea who this person is, so no.
Still.
Yeah, he paid to have these surgeries done for 1,000 blind people. I have in my notes, in all caps, however, it's
yeah, I'm sure he fucking did a video and
he did.
Exploited those people's
yeah, he did.
surgery and experience and put it on YouTube for clicks.
It's I have in my notes, it's important to recognize the potential harm that philanthropy can perpetuate a broken system, and MrBeast, his philanthropy, while well-intentioned, may simply serve to reinforce the existing power structures and inequities that make such actions necessary in the first place. And it's basically a fucking meme at this point. Every time some local news station posts one of those quote unquote heartwarming stories, I have a screenshot from ABC 7 News from a Twitter post that says, Texas teen Alondra Carmona is giving up her entire college savings to help pay for her mom's rent and prevent her being evicted.
Right.
And like, those are our heartwarming
right.
stories we get out of these. It's the same
Which is
shit.
Fundamentally, it should not be happening in the first place because of, the position that this person's been put in, probably because of generational wealth issues and poverty issues and all of those things that like need to be further examined in our country in order to prevent these heartwarming stories from making the fucking news when it should just be a person continuing to live their life.
Yeah.
Like, should not be newsworthy. Like, it's just so frustrating that like the greatest thing that somebody can do is be an anonymous donor to something. Like, do not fucking film it. Do not put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Do not like have someone in a car like with their camera phone on while you give a homeless person McDonald's. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Dude.
It's, philanthropy can be seen as a way to maintain the status quo, which is basically what we're talking about here, rather than bring about any sort of meaningful change. Because the more it's like one of those things of like, it's a catch-22. The more these philanthropists donate, the less inclined our government is to fix the problem. Because we've got Elon Musk and Bill Gates and they're donating money. Let them just keep donating all their billions of dollars. That way the fucking government doesn't actually have to do anything, because we as the people see that and kind of go, okay, yeah, it's fine. We got Bill Gates. I'm not going to vote.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not felt beyond a subset of people, though, is the thing. And the government's fine with that. Yeah.
On a very local level that I experienced, the pier that I got engaged on in San Francisco, when I did it, has a sign that says, please help save this pier, and a link to a website in order to donate. And it's like, why do I have to save this pier that is in San Francisco that is on city property? Like, what is the government doing in order to fund this? It's spending it on the police budget and not doing anything.
Yeah, it's like when you see another one I always see are people going around like in communities fixing the potholes on their own street, buying the asphalt to do it, and it's like,
boy, I'm pretty fucking close to doing that here also.
Oh, me too, dude. I came home, I was like, I'll tell you what, the streets are gone to shit. I'm about to lose it.
So anyway, I don't want to linger on the philanthropy bit because I can feel us all getting a little tense. So we'll move on to some of his other business ventures. He's been involved in, he has his own merchandise line of like clothing and things. But the thing I want to talk about mainly are the virtual food endeavors he has, like MrBeast Burger Feastables. So again, they're not inherently negative, but they do raise, again, those questions of transparency and how they're operating. Are they genuinely beneficial to consumers or simply a means to make a profit? On top of that, going back to the Twitter, the way he exploits his fans, again, is not just in using them as cannon fodder for his videos, but it's literally in some cases, but it's also to make them his employees in a way. Because he tweeted about his candy bars that are in Walmart. He tweeted, I need your help. Next time you see Feastables in Walmart and soon to be new retailers, if you could clean up the presentation and make it look better, that'd make me very happy. I'm building a team to do this routinely. Just need help in the short term. Excuse me? Am I getting paid for this?
This is hearkening back to the old punk days of street teams.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's not.
It is.
So those were exploitative too.
Because what was the fan getting out of putting stickers up around town for the band? What were they getting out of that? Mostly nothing. Maybe a t-shirt.
The pleasure of defacing city property.
I will also say the punk scene is a very different community than MrBeast's fans. The punk scene is built on helping your community, which was, the musicians and the bands who were not multi-millionaires.
Sure. I can still see an exploitative angle within that, and that I'm likening to MrBeast.
I will counterpoint you with no punk band ever asked me to go into a Walmart and clean up a display.
That's fair. That's fair. I will
that's-
step back from this soapbox that I'm on. I'll be over here.
Where you know, if you're a punk band, you go out, you give a flyer to somebody, say come to the show, then you get to see that person at the show later, and you get to hang out with them. But if Mr. Beast tells you to go to a Walmart and clean up his display, that's just you.
Yeah.
Doing something for somebody else that you've never met.
Again, I think context is very important, but somebody saw this and they retweeted and said, Mr. Beast just unlocked a new form of capitalism. I hate it here. Because this was a reply to a bunch of photos of his fans in the Walmarts doing this, cleaning up his fucking product. I almost said problem, but
His problem.
I mean, it's that too. He also, I mean, it also doesn't stop there, because in a now deleted tweet, he then also asked, allegedly, his fans to sabotage his competitors' displays.
Oh my God.
He said, quote, would not complain if fans moved Hershey's chocolate bars aside to display the Feastables better. So there's that too.
There's something illegal there.
It's like inciting like riot-like behavior. Put out like a video like, look, I wouldn't be mad if everything else in the aisle was trashed.
It's very Trumpy.
Mad. I would never ask for it, but I wouldn't be mad about it.
Have you guys ever seen Mad Max?
Yeah, it'd be a shame if something would happen to some of those other candy bars on the shelf. Huh? Be a shame if something were to happen to those Twix, maybe get broken.
Be sure to bring your Mr. Beast branded baseball bats.
Yeah.
So somebody else in this Twitter thread said, grifting labor out of fans, quote unquote, is honestly a whole new level of vomit coming out of the content creator economy. And then, John, this is to the point you were making earlier. Somebody else said, because the poor and working class are desperate, and he dangles the possibility of winning large sums of money in front of them for doing his bidding. Again, a lot of the reason why these fans do this shit and abide is because I think in their idea, if he's one of those people, he's in a unique position to potentially pluck you out of existence and change your life, no doubt. And I think a lot of that is the motivation for people to go and follow his instructions and go to his video shoots and all of this stuff. It's that fantasy of like, ooh, maybe I'll be the next Mr. Beast or all whatever. Because I've been there. I've had those fantasies when I was younger, for sure. I get it. You want to be seen. These people just want to be seen, and they're probably living normal, boring lives like the majority of us are, and there's nothing wrong with that. Thoughts, Kyle? I heard a little.
I was gonna just talk about how I'm still trying to reinvent the wheel with this Mr. Beast branding thing.
Oh, okay. We're still on Mr. Feast?
Okay.
No, well, I've moved on from that.
Oh, okay.
I've given up because he already has Feastables, whatever the fuck he decided to do.
Which is just a ripoff of Lunchables.
God, he's stealing even more shit.
Yeah, dude.
I didn't put that one together.
But one industry he has not touched yet is the menswear realm, which he could go for Mr. Creased, and it could be like a nice, like, you got like an iron that comes with like the shirt you buy, the nice slacks that have nice creases.
Yes.
Mr. Creased.
Kyle, it would be Crease by Mr. Beast.
No!
In like
okay,
fucking the
actually,
Vanity
you know what?
Fair font.
He's not going to do it.
But
Yeah,
because he can't change the Mr. He has to be Mr. Beast, dig creased. He can't.
Exactly.
Yeah, he can't be Mr.
Oh,
Creased.
hang on. No, it would just be Beast by Mr. Beast.
Oh, that's great. I can see it. Johnny Depp on the poster, on the kiosk poster.
With a fucking pack of wolves howling as he's...
Yeah, exactly.
And a shovel for some reason.
Did Johnny Depp murder somebody? What's happening in this ad? I'm so
never
confused.
know. But his pants sure are creased.
What is he digging for?
Yeah, but those slacks look great. Let's talk about Mr. Beast Burger.
Oh, yeah,
Let's
do it.
God, I can't believe there's more.
Let's do it.
Mr. Beast Burger is a ghost kitchen. I said that already. It's owned by Virtual Dining Concepts, which is a huge corporation that does branding deals with YouTube creators, musicians, like B-level actors to start their own food brands. and outsource them to these ghost kitchens. So you'll have dozens of these people, their projects or their companies in one ghost kitchen. And it's just for people like MrBeast or people like, there was somebody else I had on this list, but I can't find it. Eddie Burback did a really great video on the ghost kitchen thing, which since we've talked about it has kind of expanded like a virus across the country. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it was baby when we first discussed it.
Specifically with MrBeast, though, there's no nutritional well, there is nutritional information, but it's super stripped down. It's like a single PDF in an Excel form. It doesn't show where any of the products are sourced because they're coming from different restaurants depending on where you're ordering from. Ooh. So the quality control and the consistency is all over the fucking place. In Eddie's video, he bought a bunch of different products from MrBeast Burger, and none of them looked like the photos on the website. Like they say they're smash burgers, but he got his burger and it was literally like 3 inches thick and raw in the middle. It was disgusting. So yeah, the quality is all over the place. Sometimes the packaging doesn't even match because they don't always get the bags and wrapping on time.
Yeah, totally.
But the Feastables thing is another thing that happened recently where they're chocolate bars. They say they're created by experts or they have organic ingredients.
By experts. I've never bought a chocolate bar when I'm looking at like between two and I go, oh, this one says it was created by experts. I better get this one. Like, that's not...
Yeah.
No proof to back that claim up.
Experts in what? It's like, I'm a CPA.
Yeah, I just like to make chocolate. I don't know.
I eat chocolate a lot. Does that count? I don't know.
Yeah.
So like the way these are branded, again, it's super vague. The last talking point or like point that they make is delicious AF, which is not only vague,
Sick.
but fucking embarrassing.
Cool.
But he took these chocolate bars onto a popular TikTok creator he's recently gotten a lot of popularity. His name is Keith Lee, and he does reviews of like family owned businesses. And it's really wholesome content, actually. Like, he gives honest reviews. He uses his platform to sort of uplift small businesses. And that's great. What he's doing is great. Apparently, MrBeast requested that he come onto Keith's channel to do a review of his chocolate, these Feastables. Already not a great sign that he's like reaching out to use somebody else's newfound fame to promote his own product. It's already gross, but he went on the show and there's video of it and it's fucking awkward as shit because Keith Lee is very honest and about his review. He's not sugarcoating it, no pun intended. And he rates them as like pretty mediocre, these chocolate bars that MrBeast has, and he calls them as mid as it gets in his own words.
Let's try them and rank them 1 to 6.
I'm going to be completely honest, totally not biased, because if it sells more, I make more money.
I'm going to be honest, and I hope Jimmy is sitting next to me and not getting his feelings hurt.
Let's do it. How would you compare that to one?
It's a little too sweet.
We're still figuring it out.
That's a good start. It's a good starting spot, though.
All right, this is...
It's not crazy, Jimmy.
No?
No.
You don't like Crunch Bars?
I do like Crunch Bars, but...
Maybe these are defective.
I
Oh
do
my
like
God, this tastes good to me.
7.2 out of 10.
This is amazing.
Look, I'm with doing either one.
Infinitely healthier for you than the normal thing out there.
Also my favorite so far.
Okay.
7.8 out of 10.
Okay, I'm starting to understand this, man.
yeah,
Okay,
give it a little
I'm gonna get rid of these.
I love salt.
No,
No, I want to try those.
No, you just don't.
Not crazy, but it is good. It is
I
good.
agree. I agree. You know, you are so right. I'm gonna slam this chair. Hershey's sucks.
I wasn't expecting to get higher than a 6. It is a lot better than I was expecting.
Agreed.
God bless you guys. Have an amazing day.
Can I flip the table to end it?
Do whatever you feel comfortable with.
And throughout the video, you can see Jimmy Donaldson getting like awkward and uncomfortable because he's not getting the review that he was expecting, which is like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10.
Sure.
And at the very end of the video, he fucking flips the table over. Not in he's legitimately mad. There is like a longer extended video of the review where he asks Keith if he can flip the table. But you know when you just meet that awkward bully in school who asks permission to do the thing that he wishes he could just do out of real passion and not worry about the consequences. It feels very much like a spoiled brat, unsure of how he's going to be perceived. So to minimize something like flipping a table over in this review video, he like front loads it with like, is it cool if I do this for the video? Like,
Yeah.
it's just so
Performative.
cringy and performative. Yes, Kyle.
I don't know how much we have left here, but I definitely have created a final thought in my mind about this.
Got
this
it.
fella.
The last point I have is the philosophy of doing good. John, I think you brought it up. Doing good deeds for the sake of them being the right thing to do, as opposed to doing them because they make you personally feel good about yourself.
Yes.
That is why I wanted to talk about MrBeast and these couple of videos, this content that he's made over the last like year or so, where it feels like he's not doing it for the right reasons. He is not doing good because otherwise he wouldn't film it and put it up on YouTube.
Yeah.
And, you know, on the one hand, some argue that the act of doing good is not necessarily undermined by the motivation behind it. In this view, as long as the result is positive and helps others, the intent of the person performing the act is not as important. However, what we're talking about is the other side of that coin, which is if the motivation behind doing good is critical in determining the moral value of an action.
If it's influential to an audience.
It's also like, I think it by definition is not philanthropic if you are then making money. Like, it is a for-profit thing that you're doing. It is not like a gesture of goodwill.
It's a business venture. It's business. It's a return on investment. That's all it is. I mean, I could go into talking about the philosophy of doing good and the reasons that we do it, but I think we all get it. I don't want to condescend our listener. Oh, I did have a thing in here specifically about the doctor thing, him giving like the surgeries to people. Sure. I wouldn't trust MrBeast in deciding who my doctor is. Like, it's, you know what? There's so many other implications. The more you look at this, and that was only a thought I had before we started recording, where I was like, you know, like that's great that those people can see, but hang on, what the fuck does MrBeast know about cataracts?
Yeah, he's not Beast MD. Yeah. He's MrBeast.
There's a lot of problems with his content, and I think it sends the wrong message because he doesn't talk about these things. I would be maybe on the fence if he talked about this stuff in his content a little bit more and was more transparent. But as a person who grew up on YouTube from the age of 13, he's 22 or 23 now. He would be 24.
Oh my God,
I guess.
I thought he was older than that.
He's got so much more time to make bad decisions.
And also then learn from them. But again, it's like he's probably surrounded by a bunch of yes men who are getting a cut of his empire by just being around him. And how does a person change in that setting, in that context, when everyone's like, yeah, totally do that. Exploit those people. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I think you brought it up actually because after listening to all of this, it truly does feel like the bully on your like elementary school playground who's like, I'll give you $10 to eat this thing out of the trash. And it's like, it's, you know, the rich kid coming in and saying like, I'm going to make you do this thing and you're going to do it because you have to, or like there's not really a way for you to say no to it because of one reason or another. And it just feels like this is a bully who got really, really famous and is just like got his thumb on so many people. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I've just keep trying to think of new puns and new business ventures where he could rebrand himself in better ways than he does.
Why? I'm confused as to why you feel like you need to help MrBeast. I'm sorry, Jimmy Donaldson.
I'm trying to point out the fallacy of his, like, he actually, I think, struck gold early on. And doesn't have to actually think critically about how to market himself anymore, other than ripping stuff off like Squid Games, like where we can sit here critically in a think tank, like we do, boys. Shark Tank, holla.
Yeah, but this was a thinker episode.
We could start a law firm called Mr. Cease and Desist.
Whoa, love that. Mr. Beast and Desist.
He should probably be served a few of those.
Okay, so but my point is though is like all I'm over here trying to do is like almost like poke holes in like how thoughtful he is in his ventures. That's it.
It's very much he fell into a thing, he found an exploit in the system, and it has rewarded him ever since for it. It has only encouraged bad behavior.
Exactly.
So follow us on YouTube. We'd appreciate it. So we can make some money. Spread that love around.
Mr. Beast cut of the audience.
Yeah, if one of our videos hit 100,000, I would poop myself.
Oh, dude, if it hit 10,000, I would be through the roof. I'd shoot off like fucking Wile E. Coyote.
Okay, well, if it hits 1 million, I'm gonna be in the hospital hooked up to an IV, and I'm gonna be on life support, bro.
Okay, so don't do that.
Yeah, don't watch our videos that much. We don't want to kill Kyle.
Don't kill me, bro.
Keep it, just cap it. We're gonna cap it.
Yeah, we'll put a limit. After 100,000 views, I'll private the video. And with that, I will say, good luck out there.
And everyone wanted to know which president was the true throat goat. And
okay, I do remember this.
And they are all some sort of eldritch monsters of yore, right?
Yes.
She was also selling videos of her farting in the jar.
I hate this so much. I hate everything about this.
yeah.
Security Starboard.